Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I will be talking about the core framework program that is available through my other business, Develop the Magic. I do have, um, I do own a travel agency, Reach for the Magic Destinations, and have been in the travel industry as a travel consultant since 2007. So just to go on, I'll go a little bit further into the background here, but this is just a quick presentation about the core framework program that is available for your teams. So a little bit about me. I do have a bachelor's degree in sociology. I have I have a wide a wide career path that includes I have been in various industries, nonprofits, um, in particular advocacy and supervision, was in the sexual assault and domestic violence nonprofit world. Supervision, I was a probation and parole agent for the state of Wisconsin. I went back to volunteer management. I managed the volunteer program at the nonprofit that I had worked for originally. And then I started doing travel on the side in 2007. I left to go full time in 2012 and founded Reach for the Magic in 2015. So I've got uh, a mix of experience that there has been mentorship and creating of programs. I think in each one of my careers, jobs that I've had, I have done some sort of creation of a training program or standard operating procedures. It is something that lights me up. So, as you'll see, I am slightly obsessed with personal and professional development, and I firmly, firmly believe that we can always, always keep learning.
Mm-hmm.
So the why, I I want to help small businesses. Um, I want to help businesses thrive, travel agency owners. Um, I had been doing some research um, into what folks are offering for their onboarding programs, their professional development programs, and there is a wide variety of models out there. And for some folks, they're not doing anything. And for some folks, they have a really fantastic program. And I am super excited to hear when folks have that well-developed program. And so ultimately, the core framework program it came about from me having developed my program and having other agency owners talk that I had been talking with, quite frankly, suggest that I make the program available to others. So ultimately, just like we do in the travel industry with our clients, I want to help ease the overwhelm for agency owners. And ultimately, if they need a program, I want to help save them time. So often, the owners that I've been speaking to that don't have a program, what they're sharing that they're feeling is overwhelm. Where do I start? To sound familiar for some of our clients, our travel clients, right? They're having
Yes.
those same feelings. And so I really want to help them be able to not only help, I mean, we all know as owners, when our agents succeed, the agency succeeds. And so we want to help. The goal with the core framework program is to give them a basic framework outside of supplier training that they can get into the mindset, a business mindset, much quicker than I think most programs are offering. And obviously, building confidence with travel, new travel advisors coming on. There are some different ways that, well, I'm going to go back one. Um, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on, but there are some different ways that this program can be used. The essentially ideal folks for the program, the core framework program, are folks who are either looking at their current onboarding education program and going, oof, this could use some help. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and and maybe there are a couple of pieces that are doubled, but I'm for many, like I said, with the feedback I'm getting, I think there's a couple of pieces that folks have not thought about. And as society changes, and we're supposedly wrapping up pandemic life here, things have changed over time. Stress management has become I think through the pandemic, we're all so much more aware of that thing that we're always, I think, seem to be chasing, of the work-life balance, and wanting to get folks to achieve success earlier on, than taking longer. Not only do we want to see our agents do that, but new agents want to see that. So it is predominantly intended for folks who are bringing on new agents. The other ideal market for this is a new owner who is like, whew, I want to bring on a team, and I have no idea how to train, to offer them, to get them into the business. So those are the two really primary agency markets that this particular program is intended for. There are some other options available to be able to use that. So the core framework modules, there's 9 modules, and these are the titles of the module. There is an orientation that essentially gets to know the agency. In that piece, there are pieces for you to insert your agency's mission, your agency's values, and to really speak at the heart of what the why is behind your agency. And so it's an introduction into your agency, into the travel industry, moving on into the fundamentals. This is really, I think, the key, the piece. This is organized in a very intentional fashion. It is laying the groundwork for folks to really start thinking about this as a business, and not perhaps what we sometimes hear as a side hustle, or this is my hobby that I'm doing. It is really to instill that business mindset. So fundamentals are going to include those basic fundamentals, but they're also going to include things like getting your own, like having a separate bank account for their business. You can tell them, it's obviously still up to them to do, but how to even think about the financial aspect of their business. Operations and management, again, that flow into that workflows. What kinds of systems can you set into place? And there are certain things within this entire program. You can, if there are specific things for your agency that you're offering, you can add them in here. That's the beauty of it. You can blend what you currently have, or if you want to have this procedure or process a certain way, you can add that right in. So it is a beautiful option to blend that. Sales process. What does qualifying a client look like? What does the quote and booking process look like? I know when I started back in 2007, I was at a Disney focused agency, and I signed my contract, and they said, go do the College of Disney Knowledge and then be free, sell travel. And I went, but how do I do that? Mm-hmm. And so that is one of the things that that is one of my my hot button things in the travel industry, is we're not doing our agents any favors, and quite frankly, we're not doing ourselves and our businesses any favors when we don't provide some basic suggestions, guidelines, the framework for them to start. So client experience, also walking through what that client experience gets them thinking about. What types of services do they provide? What kind of information are they going to provide? As independent contractors, we know we cannot require them to do certain things. Even you'll notice I don't call this a training, but there are some things. I tell my agents, you're obviously required to tell people about important dates and things related, like as requirements as part of the travel process. But whatever other information they want to share is ultimately up to them. I can provide some resources for them, but it is up to them to do that. And so the client experience module is really starting to get them into the mindset of, of what type of information should I be sharing with clients. And hopefully as they're going through it, is getting them to brainstorm about that and start laying the groundwork as they're going through each of these modules to build their resources. So marketing, I do have marketing and social media as two separate modules because social media is just a beast in itself. But we all know as owners that social media marketing is not the only marketing that it exists. And so getting some outside the box, some non-digital marketing aspects. That one also talks about the brand of you, which is where Develop the Magic really kind of came from, the name of that. Our agents, we know as travel advisors, we are the difference in providing an experience for our clients. And when it comes to our agents, they are our most important clients. And so they are our secret sauce. They're the secret sauce. They're the magic, which is where Develop the Magic came from. And so helping them realize that they have their own essentially personal brand, and that they are the difference maker. They're the differentiator. Social media, going into all the crazy aspects that are in there. There's also like a list of hashtags. It does primarily focus, it's a general social media. So there isn't, how do you create a Facebook business page or whatnot. There are resources out there. Again, as we were talking, as we got started, there is a level of accountability that there are resources already available on how to do these things. I don't need to recreate the wheel on that. Professional growth and development. I said in the beginning, I love to learn. I love, I think that every day we have an opportunity to learn. That is something that I really impress upon my agents. And I think as an industry as a whole, this is where we really can make a difference and lift up the agency, in whether that is, and so that's going to talk about, the different memberships that are available. You can join ASTA, you can obtain certifications through the Travel Institute, doing individual destination training. So for Hawaii, they've got the Hawaii training program, doing Krista Emo's classes, Mexperts with Lori Gold. I mean, there are, so it's talking about some of those pieces to push them further, that they can take their specializations, their niches, a step further into really figuring out, what do I want to specialize in? How can I move that forward? There's also things in there about, what kind of podcasts are available that they could listen to within the travel industry. So there's that. And then taking care of you. It is, I will say, the shortest module. I also think it's one of the most important. It talks about boundaries, taking care of yourself, stress management, as well as celebrating even the smallest things. Because I think so often as business owners, we're just like, our to-do list is a mile long, and it very often seems like we're checking something off the list and then it's immediately moving on to the next thing. And we need to do a better job. I think that's just a great self-care option, to do a better job of celebrating, like, whoa, I got that done. And so how encouraging them to do that. But hopefully then I also hope that it spurs the opportunity for agency owners to think about, how can I better celebrate that with my agents? So these are some examples. The Core Framework program is available in two options. And on the left-hand side of the screen, where it says sales process and job description, those are screenshots of it's a Google Doc option, and that is, there's no photos, there's nothing with it. It is essentially the copy, and you can copy and paste that into whatever learning management system you are using. I added in particular the top sheet, the one that's titled job description at the top. You'll see it's highlighted in yellow. Those are pieces where you get to put in your own agency details, because that's important. You want to onboard them and welcome them and get them. Hopefully they've already had an idea of this if they're applying to be with your agency. But I think this is also a really great refresher to have agents who might have been with you for a while to go through and just do a reminder. So the two options are, there's a Dropbox where all of it is listed, the copy is listed in documents. And then there's a Canva option. And the Canva option, there are slides for each of the sections. And again, it's done in 9 modules. So there's 9 different, each module is its own document, or within Canva, it's its own document as well. So you've got on the lower left-hand side, the agency history. That is also a spot that you can add your own piece. If you don't want to do that, you just delete that slide. No big deal. And then on the right-hand side, this is the title page, Professional Growth and Development. I've created this so it's very, it is not flashy with lots of colors and whatnot, but the Canva document, you can update any of this with your branding. So your agency colors, if you have a specific font you want to use, if you want to add your logo onto the pages, you can do that. So it's made, if there's a piece where you're like, oh, I don't really want to talk, I don't want to include that, or I want to take this to the next step, you can easily add in another page into the Canva document. And then ultimately they are, here's some examples of some more of the Canva document pages. And the Canva option, you have 2 options with that. You can do it as a presentation style if you wanted to make recordings and talk through the pages and have those recordings available for your agents. You could download it as a PDF and have them just simply go through and read it. You can do a combination where maybe you're making some videos about certain things and they're going to link, this page talking about, let's say, for example, the creating the brand of you. Maybe you have a video about that. You could add a link so they can, read this particular slide and then go out and watch the video. So it is really, it's that core framework that is intended for you to be able to personalize, customize, add, delete, what you would like to take in. So, and you can see we cover confidentiality. There's examples of tools, of language, nomenclature, some of those things. A few of the modules also have exercises included at the end, and they are intended for them to really start laying that groundwork for their own personal resources outside of the things that you might provide. So topic samples. These are topics that are within the modules, the 9 modules that I already listed. So qualities of a great travel professional, the heart of your business, it's the why, right? We want them to keep in mind why they're doing what they're doing. Talk about client data and confidentiality, time management. I mentioned boundaries and financials, qualifying a client, what to include in a quote. When you get started, if you don't know, we don't know what we don't know. And so not only can this information obviously help them build knowledge, but it also can help them realize, oh, well, I don't understand this. Hopefully will lead to them asking questions and whatnot. Client care, I talked about different marketing methods. You might have a specific social media philosophy in your agency. You can certainly expound upon that. I talk about goals and mindset, which is incredible. Mindset is a big deal within business, and it's become a new thing. So as I talked about a little bit earlier, how to use this, this can be a foundation for new agents. You can update your current offering to new agents, and then for those that have something in place, maybe you want to use these modules as professional development opportunities for existing agents. Maybe you want to pull these out and focus on one, during a team call, or create a video for them as a resource to use. It does, as I mentioned, the Google Documents option and the Canva slides option. What I will say is the intro pricing is $4.95. I have an Easter special this weekend to give people a sweet treat. And through tonight, it's available for $3.75. And then I do have, and there's more things coming, I do have other products available. There's 2 examples here. I have a 3-page document about travel professional types. And I use this in conjunction with my my onboarding. It's a great, I think it's a really great tool to use with even current agents, perhaps as like an annual review. But it breaks down into 4 professional types. And these are things that I came up with. And they are the 4 types that I've identified are the super fan, the hobbyist, the professional advisor, and then, that business owner travel advisor. And as an agency owner, we know that all types of agents make an agency go round. We would love to see more professional types of advisors happening with a higher number of bookings, but super fans and hobbyists certainly help build those numbers. But it can be a great tool. I have used this with a retreat with my team to go over and help them identify, this is where I'm at, and there's no shame in this game, in doing this resource. And it says that in the resource. This isn't to make somebody feel bad. It's a tool for them to build awareness and identify where they might be at. You can use that then to say, are you happy with that? Do you want to change? Do you want to do something else? Okay, these are the behaviors that are associated with the other types. And so you're going to have to start doing some of those other things. And then I also just released an affirmation card set. I want to say I know it's over 120, it might be upwards of 130 affirmation cards that are travel industry, business owner, abundance, gratitude. These are things for folks who really love to do. That love to do affirmations and really try and change some of the mindset. This is also something that I have used in my agent, my advisor retreats, where I have printed these out, cut them out, and they've chosen what spoke to them, and they use them during the 3-day retreat. So that's also available. Here is my contact information. And that is what I have available for you today. I am going to